Going live, it's gone live. Okay, we are live now. You guys can give it a couple of minutes, we should start seeing people. What happened?
The scorecard isn't live yet?
Scorecard is live now.
Is it?
Yeah. कम जेब पे सागन है पब्लिक गाने पड़ते
Hello everyone, we welcome you all to the Sandy Lake Cricket Grounds where we have the inaugural match between Nepali and Nepali team and Gladiators being played today. And I've got Brian Walters with me, a popular commentator from this lovely day here. And you can watch this tournament live on the YouTube channel, the DPL YouTube channel. The first over is going to be bowled from the far end. So today is the inaugural day of this 7th season. So the batters are ready and we're all set for the first match here. Sandy Lake Cricket Grounds is the venue for this inaugural match. And the tournament will be played for almost 17 days. October 1 is the final day for this tournament. So Saga and Ehsan. Ehsan is getting ready to bowl the first over. So runs here. So they open their account with a single here. So one without loss. This is the first over. Ehsan is the bowler bowling from the far end here. And Dev is on strike now. Both are right-handed batters. He just played the ball on the onside to open his and the team's account. Next ball played straight back to the bowler, no runs. So this is over number 1. This is in fact a 20 over match and we are in the first over. This is 7th season of Dallas Premier League cricket tournament and this year 10 teams are participating. You can see good fielding, the follow through by the bowler. He's a tall man bowling from the far end. So one without the first over. It's a lovely evening here at the Sandy Lake. Cool breeze. Far end. Hassan getting ready to bowl the next ball. 2 without loss. Nepali Rhinos have been put into bat by DPCC this evening. I've got Brian Walters with me. Lovely shot. He's going to get some runs here. And this is the first boundary of the tournament. Picked the length nicely and flicked it towards mid-wicket for a boundary. So 6 without loss. Shot that was.
Beautiful shot, and Sudhir, it's a pleasure. So exciting to be here to see the level of cricket. We get as much as you want, but I'm just
Out here for the Nepali Rhinos. 6 without loss. This is the first over. Hassan has decided to bowl from the round the wicket. Again, a good shot here. Is going to get some runs here. Will it cross the boundary? Yes, it does. So 2 fours in the first over. Good start here for Nepal.
interesting decision. Hassan Adil is a very experienced bowler, quick bowler, and you would think on the concrete strip he would be a handful. I'm not created just a little bit of room outside off stump. Easily crashed.
And 2 consecutive boundaries here from Saga's bat. He's moved on to 9 of just 4 balls he's faced so far. This is the last ball. 10 runs have already been scored in this over. Comes down the track and he's going to get runs here again. This is in fact 3 in a row. And what a start here for Nepal team.
Tremendous. Hassan Adil, a very 3 balls in that over, just a little, one of them too straight, another wide, and then another 2 full. So all 3 of those crashed away for 4, which is what you want your best batters to do. 4, the Nepal after being asked to bat a 14 without loss.
So 14 runs coming off in the first over. Hassan was very, very expensive. And Sagar is 13 not out of 5 balls he's faced. Dave is 1. He will be on strike. This is going to be the second over of their innings. They have been put into bat by the GPCC captain this evening. This is the inaugural match of the Dallas Premier League tournament. And this year, the team has been divided into 2 groups, Brian. 5 in a and see how they are going to capitalize on this good start, because they got 14 runs in the first over. So Daniel is getting ready from the commentary box end to bowl the second over, his first over. Dave is on strike. Daniel is a tall man. So they will be taking strike to him. Good delivery, played back to the bowler. Good start for Daniel.
Interesting starting.
2 dot balls. He's on target here, Daniel. So Daniel bowling from the commentary box end. So 14 without loss here. Nepali Rhinos, they have been put into bat this evening by the DPCC captain. Dev is on strike to Daniel here. Plays nicely on the offside. Good call. And that was a good single. Excellent shot again from Saga. He seems to be in very good touch today. And umpire signals it a 6. So what a shot that was from Saga. He is in excellent touch today, Brian.
It's a good piece of batsmanship, elevating and playing with the turn over extra cover. That's never an easy shot, and that's a good comeback ball. Just defended to that backward point area. Also able to pick up.
This is only the second over. Runs here, maybe of the pad. No signal so far from the umpire. There was a bat in that. So 2 good overs here for Nepali Rhinos. And Sagar is in very good touch for them.
It's a really good start. Man over our shoulder. Faisal Akhtar, who's not even close to, is saying that it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I would tend to agree. Relatively small ground, concrete wicket, of course, so the ball will be coming on nicely, and 20 overs, so not a whole lot of time for the bowlers to get settled. I really would not be surprised if we had a score in excess of 190, 200. I think that's really definitely on the cards. 2 overs, 22 runs, or 23 runs rather. No question that there's a big score in the cards.
And Sagar in particular is playing some very good strokes here. 20 not out of just 7 deliveries he's faced. Daniel conceded 9 runs in his first over. So this is the third over. No chance for a run there. Dev is also a very good hitter of the ball. He is on strike here. Asan bowling his second over. He gave away 14 runs in his first over. Very expensive. Good delivery. There was a bit of movement on occasion, Brian.
I'm still going to talk about the fact that around the wicket. The reason why you would go around the wicket as a fast bowler is to sort of cramp the
He's a tall guy, Ehsan. He's got a lot of experience, and this is his second over. Yeah, whenever we talk about bowling from around the wicket, Brian, I think the best in the business was Malcolm Marshall.
conversation could easily be thing is
This is the second over from Ehsan. Good start for him after conceding 14 runs in the first over. And he's maintaining good line and length bowling from the round the wicket. Davies on strike. He's 3 not out. He's a bit slow. He's faced 8 deliveries so far, whereas Sagar scored 20 of 7. He's at the non-striking end. Again, a good ball. He's varying his pace very well.
and somebody like Asana Dil, who has a decent amount of pace, sometimes the best way is to be able to unsettle the batter is just to bowl one much slower than you'd ordinarily bowl. So that's good thinking on his part.
3 dot balls in this over from Ehsan. Again, not able to hook it properly. The ball came quickly onto his shoulder. Not a bad idea.
No question, and again, he has the pace. One ball that comes in very slow and then another one that's quicker, that's how you keep the batters off balance, and that's how you're able to hopefully pull down the scoring rates a little bit. Obviously, 23 runs in 2.4 overs is relatively expensive, but this over so far has been very cheap. That's good bowling on his part.
He's bowled nicely in this over. Just given only 1 run. Outside the line of the off stump, no stroke offered. It's a very good over from Ehsan after very first expensive over, Brian.
Experienced bowler, you would have seen him over the years playing franchise cricket throughout the country. And I think if he's able to just pull things back in the way that he just did, his first over going for 14, but this last over much more.
So after 3 overs, 24 without loss, 8 runs per over. Still a good start here for Nepali Rhinos after they were put into bat this evening by the DPCC captain. Both the openers are doing a good job at the moment. Sagar is 20 of just 8 balls and Dev is 4 not out of 10 deliveries he's faced. This is the inaugural match of the 7th season of Dallas Premier League Cricket Tournament. And this year, as we have discussed, Brian, 10 teams and 2 groups they have been divided into. I think it's going to be very interesting this year.
Coast and the East Coast.
There is a change in bowling. Minhas is bowling his first over. He's bowling from the commentary box end. And this is the fourth over in Nepali Rhinos innings. So 25 without loss. Dev is on strike. He's a bit slow today. 4 not out. Oh, that was a very good delivery from Minas. Good line, good length. Bit of movement as well for him.
Gives you a sense of the amount of pace that he can generate. Fast bowler, you always are excited. Keeper collect.
Place it in the air, but place it nicely between the fielders. A boundary here for Dev. That is a very good stroke, in fact.
That's what I was referring.
So this is the fourth over. That was in fact a very good stroke from Dev. His first boundary. Minhas bowling in his first over. Again place it nicely, and again in the gap. It was just like a replay.
Identical ball, identical result.
Two consecutive boundaries here from Dev. Seems to be learning some lessons here from Saga. Again, nicely played. Gets only a single. Yes, he's matching Saga here. He's on to 13.
If you have the pace that Minaj had,
already conceded 10 runs. This is the last ball in the air, but safely played. We have to wait for the umpire signal. It's a sixer. Again, yet another expensive over here. 16 runs coming off in that over.
now
Minhas conceded 16 runs in his first over and 40 without loss after 4 overs. A rollicking start here. We are still in the power play. 2 overs to go. And what a start here for Nepali Rhinos after they were put into bat this evening by the GPCC captain. And this is the first match of the 7th Dallas Premier League cricket tournament. And we've got 3 matches coming up for you live on YouTube tomorrow. Sagar is 26 not out of 9 balls and Dev is 13 not out. So Dev is in excellent form today. What score we can expect, Brian, the way they are playing now? So fifth over is going to be bowled from the far end. So 40 without loss, Nepali Rhinos. They've placed the ball nicely into long on, and he is rotating the strike well. He wants Sagar to have more strike because he's in excellent touch.
Well, is only at a strike rate of 100. The other batter, being Sagar, playing at that rate is going to be something that running down for you don't have to hit big, and as long as the bowlers just miss their line or their length, this one easily tickles the side for a couple of runs.
And 60 plus people are watching live on YouTube DPL channel, and today is the first day of this 7th season of Dallas Premier League cricket tournament. Well bowled. Daniel is bowling from the far end. He bowled the first over from the commentary box end, and he's been brought from the other end for a change. Thick edge is going to get some runs here. Yes, it's a boundary here.
Again, you know,
Nicely played. He's going to get some runs here. Only chance for a single there. Sagar moves on to 32 with that single of 13 balls he's faced. That brings Dev back on strike here. This is the second over from Daniel. Oh, what an effort. What an effort by the fielder there. Excellent effort.
great effort, but it has to be said. The wicket slapped too far down the leg side. That brings up the 50. So now inside of
So after 5 overs, 52 without loss, Nepali Rhinos. What a start here for them. They were put into bat by GPCC. Dev is 18 not out of 17 balls, and Sagar is 33 of just 13 deliveries he's faced so far. Daniel gave away 21 runs in his 2 overs. He bowled 1 over from the commentary box end and 1 from the far end. So there's going to be a bowling change, it seems, from the commentary box end. This is the last over in the power play. 52 runs already on the board without losing any wicket. Saqib is the bowler. Good start for him. Bowls the ball on good length. So no stroke played by the batter there. Sagar, 33 not out. He's on strike. Shot, but again not hit properly. He wanted to hit it between the gap there. So no runs. So sorry, 1 run they have taken. So this is the first over from Saqib. Interesting change, Brian. Excellently played, but straight to the fielder there. He hit it nicely, but there is a fielder. So first wicket goes here. And Shakib strikes at last for the GPCC.
This is a good piece of ball.
I thought it was a clean hit, but it went straight into the hand. So Shakib strikes here for GPCC. So 53 for 1, Nepali Rhinos. Dev is the batter out. And Sagar is still there, 34 not out of 15 balls. Today is the first day of the 7th season of Dallas Premier League Cricket Tournament. And I'm really fortunate in the commentary box because with me is Brian Walters. And I met him first in North Carolina last year, I remember. And I gave you the tag that you look like Brian Lara, but I gave you, you remember? I thought I met Wave Riches for a while. Your card very close to the boundary line there. So Nepali Rhinos batting well here. Shakib is the bowler and Nupur is the batter. So after that boundary, a dot ball, but it's still a good over from Shakib because he got the wicket they wanted. So after the power play, 57 for the loss of 1. Continue that discussion, Brian. You know, you want to be compared with Brian or Wave because you look like both of you. You have both the cricketers resemblances.
You're the only person I've ever heard say Viv.
power play is over. So after 6 overs, 50 for 1 wicket, Nepali Rhinos, they were put into bed this evening by the GPCC captain. So Damien is getting ready to bowl his first over. Good delivery, played nicely on the onside, but only a single here to Saga. He moves on to 35 with that single. He's faced only 16 balls so far. He's played some glorious shots this evening. Nupur is on strike. He's 4 not out. He's already hit a boundary. He's facing Damien. Yes, they get a single quite comfortably here. Again, very interestingly, Damien has decided to bowl from the round the wicket. Maybe there's some breeze blowing from that end, Brian. Good delivery, good change in pace from Damien. This is only his first over. 59 for 1. Nicely played again, easy single. But it's been a very good over from Damien so far. He's bowling really well.
Left-handed opening back, but he can be very economical and sometimes
again only a chance for single here. So very good over. Good start here for Damien. He's given away only 5 runs in his first over. So after 7 overs, 62 for the loss of 1 wicket, Nepali Rhinos. And more importantly for them, Sagar is still there. He's really batting well. And he's 37 not out of 18 balls. He's really looking in very good touch today, Brian. We welcome you back after this short break. So 84 for the loss of 2 wickets. Nepali Rhinos. Shakib bowled 3 good overs, giving away only 16 runs, and he got the first breakthrough for GPCC here. And with me in the commentary box is the popular commentator from the West Indies, Brian Walters. He's not Brian Lara, but he's a lovely human being. Damien, he's also got 1 wicket. Bowling well here, Damien.
He's definitely bowling well. 2.2 overs, 1 for 16. So that pulls things back. He certainly had a part. By the keeper, Mohamed Jawad. I think it's going to be wide, and they get an additional 2 runs. So that's
That's the reason we always say commentators curse. Nicely hit. We have to wait whether he's going to take the catch. No, it falls over him. So it's a sixer here. Very good stroke.
to be us. And again, 2 over backward square for 6. That's a really good shot. Excuse me, Rocky looking to be dangerous here.
Rocky is the captain of Nepali Rhinos. He also played for Nepal in 2003 under-17 tournament. And he's also been supporting the Nepali cricketers over the years. He's the owner, the captain, the player. A lot of responsibility on his shoulders, Brian.
An opportunity to score like he just did, I think.
And it's a good platform for him. He's a good cutter, good puller of the ball. Rakesh is called Rocky, known to everyone as Rocky. Good delivery, played nicely on the offside. And good running between the wicket. That was a good call. Eleven overs completed in Nepali Rhinos innings.
Still one of these, Brian. You seem to be the
Rocky is 13 not out and Nupur is 21. Rocky has just come in at the fall of the second wicket. So 9 overs to go, 8 wickets in hand. They still have a chance to cross that figure we were talking about, Brian.
And with the captain at the wicket.
But Shakib has been the star bowler for them so far. He's not only taken wicket here, he's also troubled all the batters, all the batsmen here. In the air, there is a chance. 2 fielders. Oh, excellent effort here. Running from deep long on. He dived full length, but in the end, he could not hold it. That was a chance, but what an effort that was. So this is the 17th over in Nepali Rhinos innings. 154 for 3 wickets. Norman is on strike. Norman is 18 not out. He's giving good support here. Oh, superbly played by the batter here. Over the bowler's head for a boundary here. What a shot.
Minimum.
It's already a very big score here. Oh, cracked it here. Over covers for boundary.
Wow.
Excellently played again by the batter. He really cracked it.
If they keep bowling loose deliveries, get to 200 in this over. He's going to want to make sure the bowler, that's Minaj, that he gets it. He wants that of driving length on off stump. The first one was in the slot. This next, he's going to want to clean that up.
Yet another good over here for Nepali Rhinos. Runs coming off easily for them. Minaj bowling in his third over is very, very expensive today. This time he doesn't connect it properly, but still he gets a run here. So 2 boundaries, some singles. So very big over for Nepali Rhinos. Runs coming very, very easily for them, Brian.
9 runs. Obviously, it's on rate to get to 18 in this over. Oh, up on. Look at that.
I thought he was a little over ambitious on that occasion. Tried to hit it over mid wicket. So runs were coming easily. He went for a big stroke and lost his wicket. So 163 now for 4 wickets. Nepali Rhinos. And the new batter comes in is Oscar. So still they have 6 wickets in hand. And the target Brian anticipated in the evening when the match started is not very far. 200 was 190 plus. They are closer. So Minhaj strikes in the air. Is anybody going to take the catch? Yes, taken easily by the fielder here at short fine leg. So they lose 2 consecutive 2 wickets on 2 deliveries.
The hat-trick.
And last year we didn't have any hat. If my memory is correct. Oh. He prevents the bowler from taking that hat-trick. It could have been a record this year, the very first match. Last year, I remember, Brian, hat-trick taken. There were 2 centuries scored by the batters. Milind was the one, and I think by Andrew House. He was the top scorer in last edition, 482 runs. And Unmukta played 2 brilliant innings in the final stage, the Eliminator 2, and then the finals. You were there, of course, on that day. We both were there.
And Unmuk Chand, two the best batters in minor league from this season. And I think both of them will do very, very well when Major League starts next year. To be able to play in tournaments such as this, I think does nothing but elevate cricket all around the country, but specifically in tournaments such as these.
Needless to say that it is the West Indians who add special colors anywhere in the world, in any tournament. If IPL has become a successful tournament, it is only because of the West Indians. So 100. Yeah, during the break, we talk about the history of the Barbados, which produced some fantastic cricketers from the 3 Ws to so many. I think Jason Holder. Now I think Gary Sobers, of course, and I'll pick him the best, of course, from Barbados, no doubt about it. And then when it comes to bowling, there are so many, but Malcolm Asher, no doubt about it. Garner is also from the Barbados. And I still remember one Joel Garner's quotation, Brian, how committed he was, how dedicated. He said, even if he were to bowl to his mother at the other end, he would not spare. Wickets in succession. So good. What happens when you lose 2 quick wickets, Brian? So they are controlling well here, GPCC bowlers.
11 runs having been scored in the last over. Those 2 wickets have pulled things back. Lofted in the air. This is going to be a catching opportunity at long off. And he takes it easily. So Damien Ebanks.
More importantly, when the
the name Damien Ebanks, you're not going to think of him as a bowler. Reach. So a ball that is too short, he can pull, but it doesn't have to be in the slot for him to drive you down the ground because of his reach. So he's seeing how he does when he comes into bat. But with the ball,
So 167 for 6. If we can. What to do is take singles, twos, wait for the loose ball. Still they can get total. They have a good chance here. 4 wickets in hand. Norman is still there for them. He's playing a little cameo innings here. 30 not out of just 18 deliveries he has faced. He's on strike. Ehsan bowling is in his. Ehsan Pakistan in 2013-14. Short delivery, but there is a change in pace. He's bowling very intelligently from round the wickets, Brian.
But you want the ball experienced bowler at the end of things, and I think for his and just a deal.
Yes, on last over. This is in penultimate over in Nepali Rhinos innings. 168 for 6 wickets. The left-handed is on strike to Ehsan. Basant. Again, good bowling shot, but he beat the batter with pace on that occasion. Very good bowling indeed in this over. On him in this competition. We were talking to the owners yesterday, Norman, and this should deliver for them this year because he's got experience and he's rated high in this competition.
I mentioned it earlier.
4 good overs he bowled. Hit nicely, and he also hit it in the gap. So that's a welcome boundary here. Oh, did anybody stop there? No, nobody stopped there. So that's a welcome boundary. Good stroke.
Good stroke. Sanadil's
So 18th and the 19th overs were very good for GPCC. The bowlers controlled well in those 2 overs, not giving away many runs. So Minhas bowling the final over in Nepali Rhinos innings. He's going to get some runs. He's got one, going for the second. And no chance here. Oh, they missed a run-out chance here. That was a clear run-out chance. And they missed it very badly indeed, Brian.
That might be the difference between 6 or 8 runs, because easily Norman would have been run out at the non-strikers end. Both of them were at the same end, almost shaking each other's hands, but the ball was loose, and that allowed Basant Regmi to come back to the non-strikers end, but it got run.
So we are in the final over of Nepali Rhinos innings, and 3 balls to go. So 2 balls to go. 177 for 6 wickets. 2 balls remaining in their innings. Minhas is bowling now. Oh, bangs it. But there is a fielder and he misfields. And that's a boundary. So bit of luck here for the batter. Bit of luck here for the Nepali Rhinos. So poor fielding. And they get a boundary here. And that is a dot ball. They are running here, but there is a chance of run out, and he runs him out on the final delivery here. So that means 182 will be the target here for GPCC. So Nepali Rhinos have made 181 for 7 wickets. The last ball, you can see here, it's a run out.
Just a very straightforward run-out chance. No risk whatsoever in going for it on that last ball, obviously, because it's the last ball of the innings. So even if a wicket falls, that there's no sort of detriment. So 181, I think the GPCC squad will be happy with how much they came back, over 200. But having said that, 181 runs on the board is a big number, and you're going to have to bat well if you're GPCC to chase down that target.
We welcome you back once again to the DPL YouTube channel, and I'm Sudhir Mawadi. With me is one of the most popular commentators from the West Indies, Jamaica, Brian Walters. I'm really fortunate to be in his elite company today. Brian, 192 is the target now for the GPCC. It's a big one, but it can be chaseable because this is a very good batting wicket. So 182 is the target for GPCC. Bigwan is the bowler, starting the proceedings here for Nepali Rhinos. First ball has been hit towards the long off for a single here. And that too, the left-right combination is always, it always causes concern to the opposition.
Even for bowlers who adjust their line according to whether it's a left or a right-hander, even for the good bowlers, it still is a disruption because the fielders have to switch around. Obviously, with you're inside the power play, players allowed outside. Those two players, you're going to have to be very careful where you put them. So that left-right combination at the top of the order is always a good thing, I think, for the batting side, particularly if you have the power that Damien Emax has.
And the umpiring has been very good so far in this match, Brian. The two umpires have really done a very good job. Good fielding on the follow-through by the bowler, Bhagwan. Ubair is on strike. Ubair and Damien are the openers for GPCC, Gladiators team. And their target is 182 today. Oh, superbly played by the batter here, Ubair. It is a 6. What a shot that was. Very attractive indeed.
Tremendous. That was a shot of disdain. Down on one knee and sort of slog sweeping that ball. Again, you're inside the power play, so you're going to have to get that ball exactly where you want it. The two fielders in the deep are long on and long off, so you can't have anything too straight. And they're a similar delivery and a similar result. Consecutive sixes. All of this talk about Damien Emax, we did not mention Ubair himself is a wonderful hitter.
And for a while I thought I was watching the replay, Brian, to hit in an identical fashion as you said. Two glorious sixes from Ubair. So 13 runs already on the board. This is only the first over. So the power play will be on for the 6 overs. We all know the rules in 2020 cricket. But again, to those, because a lot of Americans are getting attracted to cricket, and we've got to inform them as well, Brian. And cricket is getting bigger and bigger day by day here. Very good start here for GPCC, chasing a huge total of 182 to win the match. This is the inaugural match of the 7th season, in Dallas Premier League cricket. And the two umpires we were talking about who have done a good job is Pulkit Dabral and Subbu Chakrapani. Subbu Chakrapani is slightly taller, but both have been fantastic so far. They have done a very good job.
It's always important, obviously, in the management of a cricket match to have umpires who are good at what they do and who manage the game effectively. It doesn't mean that every call that they get will be right. It just means that they manage the game effectively. Having said that, I don't think they've gotten anything wrong. I think the umpiring has been
So second over beginning here. 15 came in the first, and Viral starting from the commentary box end. Appeals, oh, I think he's out, he's played. Yeah.
wow.
He was trying to, and the ball rolled onto his stumps here. Very unfortunate indeed. Damien is out, is played on. So Viral strikes here in the early stages for Nepali Rhinos. And what a wicket they have got to get rid of Damien. Mohammad is the new batter here. We are in the second over. You play somewhere outside. Superbly played by Ubair there. That was a short delivery and he punished it over mid-wicket for a 6.
Try commentary and see what.
So 622 for 1. We are in the second over. 182 is the target.
You and he do it. Sudhir garu choose one comment.
So 22 for 1. everyone. Brian Walters with you here at the Sandy Lake Cricket Ground, and we're joined by a new face in the commentary booth who is unfamiliar to you all and to me. So, sir, please introduce yourself.
This is Talha Ansari. We've got a rule in the commentary box that only guys with the same haircut will do the commentary in this DPL, so we're maintaining that tradition. GPCC at 22 for 1, chasing 182, 1.3 overs gone. They've lost their big man, Damien Ebanks, Brian. That is a big loss, but they have some very good local talent, batsmen who can play big shots and build innings as well.
So, in looking at the lineup, I know Damien Ebanks very well. I've seen him. He's a lot me, so I would not have known him when we both lived in Jamaica, but I've seen him for a very long time. I know he's a big hitter. Where else would you expect for the runs to come from the side?
Ubair, who started off pretty well. This is his third six of the innings so far already. He's a pretty solid top-order batsman. The guy batting with him, Jawad, has scored previously in the DPL as well. And then Babar Arshad, their icon player who hasn't come in as yet, as Ubair flicks it down to the fine leg region for 1 run. Viral Nai bowling. They also have Danial Ahmad, who's played for US Under-19, and a left-handed batsman, and Salman Shah, who's more of a accumulator of runs, but he's a good bat as well. So it's a strong batting lineup. They've got enough depth. They've got the Sri Lankan bat, Anoj Malala Sekera, as well as Jawad. That one hurries on to him a little bit, tried to pull it. Only 1 run down to the square leg region. 24 for 1.
That's interesting. So looking at the scorecard before the game started and look at the categorization for each player, tell me about the categorizations. I see icon player, I see marquee player, I see pro player, I see drafted. Tell me what that means. We'll get into that after this next ball. Just 24 for 1. Very full and whipped away well over backward square, well into the forest. I think we'll have a lot of time for you to explain this now because it will take some time for them to find that ball. Another 6 by Ubair. Now, let's hear a little bit about the categorization for each player.
So each team had the opportunity to pick 1 icon player before the draft and 3 marquee players. Now, all of these 4 players were basically determined for each team before the draft. It's just a name distinguished, so it's basically, the icon players a little bit more distinguished than they have these 3 other marquee players. But there were 4 players basically that they pre-draft that they picked other than the non-NTC or non-local players, which we're calling the pro players. And then the draft happened. Each team went through a snake draft and drafted each player. As Ubair is one of the players who recently hit a 200 in a T20 game in NTCA, so he's keeping up to that form, doing that in DPL as well. So he's given them the impetus, even though they've lost their big pro player Damien Ebanks. He's continuing to make use of the first 6 overs.
200 in a T20. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, that is correct. Didn't get to watch it, but GPCC records all their games. I'm sure the recording of that game is on the GPCC YouTube page as well.
So in the meantime, 2 overs up and 30 runs on the board. They're scoring at the rate of 15 and over. 15 and over will make a mockery of this chase. I don't know that they'll maintain that type of strike rate, but in the meantime, we're joined by greatness. We're not able to maintain the amount of. But 15 runs and over, obviously, it's going to be difficult to maintain that. But can they maintain a scoring rate of somewhere around 10? And in fact, the first ball drifting down the leg side and whipped away for 4. So Ahmed Jawad joining in on the fun. I'll tell you what. We'd always thought that this was going to be a stiff chase. I thought, we didn't really handicap it, but we know that GPCC has the goods to be able to chase it. At this rate, they look like they can chase it in about 12 overs.
Sandy Lake has usually been a ground where scoring comes in bunches, so you really have to keep a tight line and length as Jawad drives it down to long on for a single, another full toss. The bowler should consider himself lucky that went for only one run. It was a ranked full toss on the pads. But, Sandy Lake 180, 185, I think is a very par score. And if you bowl the way that they've bowled, I think they might be able to chase that in 16, 17 overs. As Obair Riaz continues on, that's his fifth six of the game, and the umpire hasn't signaled it yet. But there you go. 5 sixes now in this innings for Obair, and he's going absolutely berserk.
180, you mentioned it's a par score, and I think I would probably agree with that, just based on the fact that the ground is small and the outfield is well manicured. The ball rolls across it very quickly. But none of that matters if the bowling is going to be treated in the way that Obair is treating it. And as it goes, this is a lofted edge just coming down here toward us, and it's 4 more. So runs coming in bunches. Already another 15 from this over so far. It looks like I might have an early night tonight.
I mean, you kind of know it's your day when these top edges go for boundaries as well for you. They don't go off pretty much a spinner. He's a very friendly medium pace bowler. Big Yan Pandey, 41 for 1 is now GPCC. Hit straight over the head of mid-off. We'll wait for the umpire's signal, whether that's a 6 or that's a signal to boundary. So after hitting 5 sixes, Obair now has back-to-back 4s. This one he was more in control of as GPCC motor along to 45 for 1 in 2.4 overs.
They're actually up to 49. And 1 ball to come here in the third. 19 runs already from the third. They're actually scoring at the rate of 17.2 and over. Oh, look, 17 and over getting to victory 11 or 12. I don't think that they can maintain that. But my goodness, there's a lot of runs being scored in a really short time. Does not appear that the bowling attack of the Nepali Rhinos has very many answers. Big Yan is being treated very rudely here. And there's another smash. 25, a quarter of a century of runs come from the third over rather. Another 6 to close things out. That would be his 5th, 6th of 6. Obair off and running 46 from 11 balls faced. Absolutely unbelievable hitting. That is the end of 3, and we are at 55 for 1.
This is just remarkable hitting by the GPCC and in particular Obair. As you mentioned, he's now 46 of 11 deliveries. The way he's going, he might need just one more ball to get to his 50. I think that we're seeing a bowling change now. Jawad is on strike though. 55 for the loss of 1 wicket is GPCC, chasing 182. Making the total of 181 by the Nepali Rhinos kind of look pedestrian so far. They have a required run rate now of 7.47. This is just unbelievable hitting.
Tremendous ball striking. So there's a bowling change coming from the southern end. This is, we'll get the bowler in a minute. Left arm finger spinner. Not a bad idea to try to have the balls leaving these 2 right-handed batters. We'll see how well that works out because you still have to get it on the right line and length. In fact, it's Basan Regmi himself. He's a good bowler. Drifting down the leg side, though. I think the umpire is going to want to signal this as wides, I believe. They run through for 2. And he does, in fact, signal wide. So commentator's curse strikes again. As soon as I say something good about Basant Regmi, he gives up 3 free runs. No legal balls bowled yet here in the 4th, and 3 bonus runs to the total. Regmi, left arm spinner, bowling around the wicket. First legal delivery. And played into the cover as they look for a quick single, and they get there. So good start, a sedate start by comparison to the first 3 overs, but a good start to the innings by GPCC. And I think Nepali Rhinos have gone to their best bowler. I think you can comfortably say he's their best, at least their most effective bowler, to try to pull things back. So let's see what develops from here, as this is now Uber back on strike. He is on 46 from 11 and looking to go big, and just gets it down to mid-wicket for a single. So decent start to the over by comparison.
Yeah, I definitely think the bowler would take that as a win, other than the first ball that went for 3 wides, which is just adding insult to injury after the start that GPCC had. But he'll take singles for right now and try to hope that the batsmen make a mistake. Ideally for the Nepali Rhinos, they'd like to see the back of Uber, who's been in terrific touch in this innings, as another ball around the wicket. This time Jawad goes the aerial route and a 6 towards mid-wicket. Wow.
Well, it had been a quiet over so far, and Basant Regmi had been doing what you needed him to do, but getting this one maybe just a touch too straight. That left arm around the wicket angle, you're really going to want that ball on off stump, maybe on 4th stump. This one, I think, aiming towards middle stump, and from that angle, pretty much a free hit. So another 6. Mohammed joining in on the fun, and pulled away down in the same direction. Work to do by the square leg fielder, but he does well to keep things to 1, and that's a good strong throw coming back in. So Mohammed Jawad has been around for a really long time. Tell us a little bit about him.
He's a very wristy player, and not in the traditional sense of being a wristy player where you let the ball come on and you have that flair with the wrist. He actually generates power with the whip of his wrists. So he's got shots all around the wicket, but he'll use his wrists to generate more power. As Basant Regmi, another round the wicket delivery to Uber, as the batsman rushed through for a quick single that could have been interesting had that been a direct hit. Basant has been able to keep Uber slightly quieter than he had been in the previous overs, but he has given a 6 to Jawad as Jawad comes back on strike.
So 1 ball remaining here in the 4th. Jawad back on strike. Uber 47 from 12. Mohammed Jawad 15 from 7. Check that. Uber 48 from 13. And this goes the distance. What a clean strike. Well and truly over cow corner for a 6. That brings the score to 7-4. 7-4 in 4 overs. This is insanity at its best. We only have another 108 runs to go. And at this rate, scoring at the rate of 18 and over, it feels like this could be finished in another 6 overs.
The required run rate has come down to 6.75. The way things are going, by next over, we might be below a run a ball if these two stay at the crease. I think the Nepali Rhinos desperately would be in search of a wicket now. It's not about, I think now it's gotten to the stage where wickets are paramount for them. Just containing will not help.
You don't want to be careless or reckless, but 6.75 runs and over on this ground is virtually nothing. I'm a fat 54-year-old guy. I'm sure I can go out there and score a run a ball. So these cricketers will have no trouble knocking off these runs. So if you are the Nepali Rhinos, you have to try something different. Even if you set too aggressive a field and you go for runs, The alternative is just to sit back and have those runs be scored in the 16th, 17th, 18th over for 3 down or 4 down. That's not going to be good enough, unless maybe you're thinking in terms of calculating net run rate and all of that and wanting to at least provide the mirage of keeping things close. But outside of that, I think you have to do something dramatic here to try to win this game, because at the rate at which they're going, this is a one-sided affair. If this were a boxing match, it would be called in the 4th over or the 4th round. And speaking of rounds, he swivels around on his leg. Another Golden Greenwich style shot, sailing away over the top of backward square for 50. What a brilliant innings by Obear. He's up to 54 from 14.
Welcomes Dave Givnani with that swivel shot. He shuffled onto the off stump and short of a length delivery deposits it over the square leg region. Dave for his second ball, another short of a length delivery. This time he tried to power it, and fielder just lets it go through. This is unbelievable stuff. I think the Nepali Rhinos' shoulders seem to be dropping. Still a little bit too early to give up. I think they need to attack. They need to try to get a wicket. You never know. Stranger things have happened. A slower ball. I think he's just feels like he can hit anything out of the ground now, the way he's seeing the ball. Uber is.
Well, he came dancing down the wicket, so that gives you a sense of what his mentality is. He wants to get this thing finished as quickly as possible. Dev Givnani is having a really rude introduction into this game. He's bowled 3 deliveries and already conceded 10 runs. His first 2 went for 10, in fact. And now, in fact, look at this. The keeper, having noticed that Obear was dancing down the wicket to him, has now decided to keep up to the pacer, which I think is a good move. That's more of the aggressive move that I'm talking about. I want to see them try something to limit the flow of runs. So let's see how well that works out. Ooh, good delivery. Short outside off stump, not able to work that away. And again, keeper in up to the stumps is able to prevent anything untoward from happening. So maybe just in the last couple of deliveries, a couple of good things happening for the Nepali Rhinos. I'm going to want to see them continue along that vein. Oh, lofted right back to the bowler. He takes it. So very anticlimactic end to a brilliant innings by Obear. Looking maybe a little too aggressive and not timing it well, just succeeding only in lofting a pretty simple return catch. Once again, 54-year-old, he could probably take that catch. And so the second wicket goes down. The score is now 84 for 2.
So Dave is a very seasoned cricketer. He's been playing in NTCA for a lot of years, has played DPL for all these years as well, and varies his pace very nicely. I think that's what undid Obear in this case as well. He doesn't just have one change-up, he's got a couple of different varieties of pace. So usually has this knack of coming in and picking up wickets when the batsman thinks they're well set, and he doesn't look as threatening a bowler, but due to his variety that he has, he'll manage to outfox you, even though, and with the experience that he has, doesn't get, flustered by 1 or 2 boundaries.
Well, it takes, it takes a good bowler to come in, be hit for 10 from the first 2, but then be able to make the adjustments to pull things back and then end up taking a wicket in that same over. So that's a testament to how good a bowler he is. And your analysis, I think, from somebody from my standpoint who has not really seen much of him, I think your analysis appears to be spot on. He certainly changed his speeds, changed his tempo, and mixes things up just enough to keep the batters off balance. So the second wicket falls. This is going to be a very interesting run of play. I think the chase well and truly is still in control by GPCC, but the Nepali Rhinos showing just a little bit of a sign of life.
Also, I think it'll be interesting to see the approach of the new batsman, because when somebody's going the way Uber was, things start to look very easy from the outside, and you kind of think that it's pretty easy out in the middle, and things might be a little different when you actually come into bat, and it's very easy to have a collapse after somebody's played that gem of an inning. So I think GPCC might want to just regroup here a little bit and not fall into that trap, while Nepali Rhinos will want to attack and get a couple of quick ones here to put the pressure back on GPCC somehow.
Well, that's the end of the over. 5 for 2 after 5, still scoring at a just ridiculous rate, no question. And that required rate still hovering down to 6.47. But I think it's important that a wicket fell. Babar is now the new batter, joining Mohammad Jawad. So maybe not quite the fireworks that we've had in the last few overs, but I still think GPCC has this chase under control. 85 for 2. They're needing now just another 97 runs off of 90 balls. So that's pretty straightforward. In modern cricket, that's very, very doable. And of course, with 8 wickets in hand, you don't anticipate that there would be any hiccups along the way. Looks like Basant Regmi is going to continue bowling here from the south end of the field. Basant Regmi, his 1 over so far went for 19, if I'm not mistaken. We'll confirm that shortly, but Regmi, I think, a much better bowler than those figures. In fact, it's a new bowler. My apologies. It's Arpan. Arpan is the new bowler, bowling from the southern end of the ground. Right armor, bowling around the wicket to the left-handed Babar. Just taking a little bit of time. All of this craziness, can you believe we're still inside the power play? Good looking delivery, sort of tossed up, played into the offside by Babar for no run. So the last several deliveries have gone in the way of the Nepali Rhinos. But again, bearing in mind we're still inside the power play, so not much coverage in the deep. Excuse me. There is a man down at long on. There is a deep square leg. Those are the only 2 outside the circle, only 2 allowed outside the circle. Oh, looking to go strong there. I think he may have wanted to get that a little bit squarer, but only ended up hitting it back to the bowler for a dot ball. So 2 consecutive dot balls to start over here for Arpan.
Yes, Babar Arshad, I think, trying to play himself in. This time he cuts that ball, crosses the inner circle and able to come through for a single. A note about Babar Arshad, he is the icon player for GPCC, and this season in a game in NTCA, he also has the distinction of hitting 10 sixes in a row. So once he gets in, you can expect fireworks, and Nepali Rhinos would be well served to get him early.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I stopped playing cricket when I did, because that is insane. It does not matter. Look, first of all, the bats that these players use nowadays in modern cricket are different from the ones I used to use. But hitting 10 sixes in a row, I cannot even imagine. Just a more, I think, an ambitious appeal for leg before. Bowling around the wicket as a leg spinner to a right-hander. Not much chance of getting an LBW there. But that is incredible. 10 sixes in a row. 10 consecutive sixes. So he scores. I don't even want to think about it, what the bowler would have been. And here's a lofted pull behind square, sailing away for his first 6 of the day. So look at this. Here we. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was bad. So Mohammad Jawad with his second 6. He moves up now to, I believe, 20. His third 6. Oh, I'm glad that you're here covering all my mistakes. I appreciate that. So Mohammad Jawad now moving up to 27 from 10. And believe it or not, he was the more sedate of the 2 in the partnership that was just broken. but he now moves up to 27 again. Now, last ball of the power play. This is 6th over. Next delivery. Oh, that's well played. He started going big, checked the stroke at the last second, and just ended up sweeping it behind square for a single. So good batting here by Mohamed Jawad. That is the end of 6. The power play is done and dusted. Not very often that you see a power play that yields 93 runs, but that's what we're working with here. Tremendous batting by GPCC.
89 more runs left to get in 14 overs with a required run rate of 6.36. The last over, you could say that Nepali Rhinos pulled it back a little bit because only 8 runs came off of it. But that's still more than the required run rate, and I think that Nepali Rhinos need to try to continue to attack. They need to get wickets here. That's the only way that they will be able to build pressure on GPCC and might cause them to do something to self-destruct, because it would take a little bit of self-destruction from GPCC as well from this point out if the Nepali Rhinos are to win this game.
Absolutely tremendous. So I think you're right. That went for 8 runs is easily the most miserly over of the innings so far. The next miserly over went for 11, and after that we're talking 15s and above. So Dev coming back in, that's well played. That is such a well played shot. Minimal effort, just all timing, no flourish whatsoever. Just allowing the ball to come onto the bat and playing it square behind point for 4.
This is the thing I was talking about, Jawad. He has this knack of this extra punch that he gets with his wrist work, where, the whip of the wrists. He also has a drive over cover that he plays in the air, which often I've seen sail over the boundary with that punch, with that whippy wrists that he uses. So he's been one of the top batsmen in the North Texas Cricket Association for a number of years now. As Dave continues, another change of pace. As Dave got another one, he has. Big wicket this. This is an absolute big wicket. Nepali Rhinos needed this. Dev Jivnani has been hit for a boundary in both of his overs, and he's come back to pick up big wickets. Can we see something special from the Nepali Rhinos?
Well, you get the sense that the heavy lifting has already been done. So I don't know that this changes the equation much. But you said it yourself earlier. If you're going to have something happen, you're going to have to take wickets. And wickets have fallen in the 2 in the last 3 overs. So definitely you're getting into the meat of the batting lineup for GPCC. So if you're in the Nepali Rhinos, you're happy that that has happened. You're going to want to make sure that you continue to manufacture wickets. Dev, I think, of all of the bowlers, has appeared to be the most threatening. And, the first ball that went away for 4, but the next one, much slower, much loopier delivery, convincing or inducing Jawad to play across the line and trapped right in front. We're not directly straight behind the stumps here, but just from where we're sitting, I think that was pretty adjacent. So I think a good decision on that occasion by umpire Pulkit Dabral. So the new batter in now is Salman. So 2 relatively new batters at the crease.
Salman Shah is a good middle order batsman, but he's a more traditional bat. He's not he's not known for his power hitting, but he does time the ball. He does play well. He will try to accumulate runs, and I think that might be what GPCC needs at the moment. As he drives his first ball down to long off for 1. Could have been 2 had they pushed it, but well fielded by the fielder at long off, and a good throw.
Very much so. And then, one thing that goes hand in hand with looking to take wickets is fielding with aggression and with passion. And so if you're a bowler, if you're Dev, you're going to want to see that fielder at long off just going all out to prevent that ball from crossing the boundary line. That encourages you as a bowler. That gives you that just additional bit of adrenaline that you need. And so now, with the field having to be changed around for the left-hander, you're wanting to see, this is going to be an interesting matchup between the man who's hit 10 sixes in a row and who I believe is the most threatening of the bowlers on offer so far. So a little bit of a single there at the end, or to take that from that next ball. You know, that left-hand, right-hand combination is murder on the fielding side, but it's also murder on the umpires. Because if you're umpiring, you're having to run from square leg to square leg, which is not easy.
See, but I'm a little disappointed because both new batsmen at the crease, and I would have had the fielders inside the circle come up a little bit to stop the single and not have them at the edge of the circle. That's what I mean by attacking a little bit. I think they're coming up now. And another good delivery by Dave, another appeal, but this time it was drifting down the leg side.
I said this earlier, my impression of the two umpires is a very positive one. I think they've both done a really good job. One sort of a subtlety that I always pay attention to with umpires is how they react to an appeal. So just a very subtle, nope, that was a little too high. Just all that it took. Oh, this is driven right back to the bowler who uses his foot to stop that. That's not always very smart. But a dot ball to close things out. I'll finish the thought about the umpires in a minute. But that is the end of the 7th over. The score is 9-9. 7 overs, 9-9 for 3.
And Dave Jivnani is 2 overs, 17 runs, and 2 crucial wickets of 2 batsmen who were just going gung-ho from the start. Could prove to be a crucial spell if Nepali Rhinos can pull off this upset from this stage. Required runs are 83 in 13 overs, 6.38 required run rate left.
So 5 minutes of glory, I think, is what the schedule says. So 5 minutes of glory is something that, well, I'll keep that to myself. 9-9 for 3 is the score. Where is your money at this stage?
At 99 for 3 at this stage, my money is with 99 for 3. Where can you go around with this? I mean, this has got to have a miracle that I think, again, it's cricket. I mean, miracles have happened. 2 or 3 wickets, 3 good balls could change it. But, that's why they're called miracles too. That said, man, I mean, I hope everybody's enjoying the show today. I'm loving it sitting here on the ground. I think, guys, it's more fun watching it real time than on TV. Love for folks to come up here and share it with us. And it is really a festive environment. And this is just game 1. 3 games tomorrow, 3 games on 2 games on Friday, and 4 games on Sunday. A lot more cricket to come this week. Let's make it a big thing, guys.
Wow. So we've hardly had time to catch our breath because in 7.1 overs, the score is 100 for 3. Sudhir, welcome back. You've missed a whole lot.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brian, and thank you, Talha Ansari. He was also entertaining with some wonderful commentary. So 100 up here, and they're only in the 8th over, and the target 182. Doesn't look difficult from here, Brian. They're off to a rollicking start here. Ubair played a brilliant innings. Miss Fields, but they're going to get 1 run here. And they have 7 wickets in hand. So 182 is the target for GPCC. They decided to bowl today. Could not restrict the opposition to a low score. Nepali batted well, put on a big target here. Salman and Baba now are trying to build a partnership here. Hits it nicely here. Over mid-on for a 6. Excellent shot, Brian.
Well, I understand from Taha earlier that this young man, Babar, hit 10 consecutive. So it's not surprising that he can strike the ball as well as he has. And if he gets going, this game is finished in a matter of a handful of overs. So up to 107, and we're still inside the 8th over. Another 6 on the way. Look at this. Oh, just palmed over the top. Just for a split second, that fielder at deep mid-wicket might have had a chance. But just like a goalie in soccer, he palmed that one over the top, but it does go for another 6.
Yeah, the goalkeeper role failed there. So superbly hit by Talha. Baba. They've got some outstanding batters in their squad. Earlier, Uber did the damage. Played a little cameo innings today. Well bowled. Well played as well, and they'll get a single here. So good over again to GPCC. So after 8 overs, 114 for 3 wickets, chasing a target of 182.
You were chasing 182. The required rate as of the 8th over is now down to 5-6. That tells you how well you're doing.
All right, Brian, you have a score predictor. Do you have a game finisher predictor? See, you predict scores every time. I was like, this is what it is. Well, now we need to build a reverse algorithm here.
I think if Brain is asked to do that role, he can, I think, in the middle. Because the Jamaica, they have not only produced bowlers, fast bowlers, they've also produced some fantastic batters as well. Brian?
This is where I ask you, who is your favorite Jamaican batter? Give me 2 or 3 Jamaican batters who are on your list.
On my list is, I think, I can mention some from the neighboring country. I mentioned, Guyana.
Jamaica, sir. No, I said Jamaica.
You mentioned 4, and then I'll pick one from that list.
No, that's cheating. No. I'll give you one to start with. Lawrence Rowe.
Lawrence Rowe, the one who scored a double century and a century in his very first Test match, and his triple century nobody forgets. And unfortunately, he was a little allergic to the grass, and that in fact ended his career.
Your knowledge of West Indies cricket is I'm speechless, bar none. There are West Indians who don't know cricket as well as you, West Indies cricket as well as you do. So Lawrence Rowe started his career against New Zealand, 214 and 100 not out. 302 was in Barbados. And you're absolutely right. He was allergic to grass, so that's not exactly consistent with having a long cricket career. But I'll give you another Jamaican name, George Headley. You've heard that name.
Yes, I heard. He used to be called the Black Bradman, I think. Am I right, Brian?
You are incredible. This is swept behind square. That might be 4. Work to do by the fielder backward square, not able to get there. So 4 more. Score moving on now to 119. So yes, that was the Black Bradman. Obviously, you would have known the name Chris Gale. Everybody knows that name. There are 1 or 2 names around who maybe not the same notoriety as some of the bigger names, but somebody like Basil Williams. Maybe you don't remember that name. Maybe just in our local cricket, Herbert Chang. I don't know if you ever heard that name, but Jamaica, I think it's fair to say that we are known more for our bowlers than for our batters. So, yes, you said earlier Michael Holding, easily. For me, the best of all of them. No, Marshall is the best of all of them. Holding was the fastest of all of them. I would put Patrick Patterson on that list also. Obviously, the man who for a number of years was the leading wicket taker in Test, Courtney Walsh, who wouldn't blow you away with pace, but he was consistent enough and healthy enough, which is important as a fast bowler, that he ended up his career with 519 test wickets. So tremendous spirit, tremendous energy and athleticism in our cricket, and we've always been that way.
Who forgets his role in 1987 World Cup, when he would have run the batter out, but he didn't do that. That was against Pakistan, and West Indies could have easily won that match in that World Cup. So here, 120 for 3, 182 is the target for GPCC today. And Baba and Salman are doing a good job now. Who did the early damage. And here they need a couple of wickets, Nepali, to put pressure on the GPCC side, which they are not able to do right. Runs coming easily. Good running between the wickets. 7 wickets in hand and 192. I think not very difficult at all from now.
So 7 wickets in hand. You're needing another 60 runs in 66 balls. So you're already under a run a ball. Effectively, and anything can happen. We always stipulate that anything can happen. But effectively, this game was finished in the first 5 overs. There's no question that the assault that the opening batters had on the opening bowlers for the Nepali Rhinos means that the intrigue has been taken out of this match so far.
And tomorrow we have got 3 matches coming up for you live. And we have got 1 here at Sandy Lake and 2 at the Mechany 1 and Mechany 2 grounds. So hectic schedule. 17th we've got 4 matches. So that's going to be the last day in the first phase of 7th season of Dallas Premier League cricket tournament. And this year we have 10 teams participating. This is the first match of the tournament. Nepali Rhinos were put into bat by GPCC and they scored 181 today. So chasing 182, GPCC, the Gladiators team, are 122 for 3 now. Plenty of overs left, plenty of wickets in hand. And Salman and Baba doing a good job right now.
Tremendous job by these two, Baba in particular. With the, I'm always partial to left-handers. I'm a left-hander myself. I love seeing a left-hander bat, and a left-hander who loves to take on the spinners is always a good thing to see. Now, they're scoring at the rate of 14 runs and over another 60 runs, which means that easily this game could be finished in 4 or 5 overs, which tells me that you need to give me your best Barbados side. Going back to our conversation earlier, I want to hear your best Barbados side.
Well, needless to say, Brian, the first name would be Sir Garfield Sobers, of course.
In batting order, I forgot to mention that.
In batting, of course, I go for Gordon Greenidge and Desmond Haynes, no doubt about it. The best openers the cricketing world has seen, the best pair in 80s and 90s. And they used to chase, targets like 150 plus quite comfortably without losing wickets. And West Indies, depended on that pair. That, of course, increased Viv Richards' confidence in the middle as well. Hope you agree, I think.
Completely agree. By the way, so we're talking about a country that is 166 square miles, a country that you could easily fit between here and downtown Dallas. It is a tiny, tiny country, and for some reason has produced the best cricketers in the world. This is pulled into the gap, but good work by Long On to get across and stop that from going to the boundary. So, Greenwich and Haynes 1-2. For me, 3, 4, 5 are the 3 W's. Actually, no. Let's say 3 is Conrad Hunt. 4, 5, 6 are the 3 W's. Sobers at 7. Bowlers are Wes Hall, Malcolm Marshall. This is lofted And gonna go for 4, I believe. A good effort down there by the fielder backward square. Good work. You know, they're far behind in this game, but that's not stopped them from fielding like they really want to put themselves in a chance to win. But going back to my last thoughts, bowlers are Marshall, Garner, Hall, and it really does. We can pick any name. It doesn't really matter which other name. We can say Hall and Griffith. Because you have spinners, you have pacers, you have Sobers, who is a spinner and a pacer. You have the best batters. Clyde Walcott can keep. Nobody's beating that side.
That Barbados team, you know, even today, if some of them are alive, they play, you know, they can beat any side in the world, you know. The best. Of course, cricketers, most of the, you know, the fantastic cricketers came from that particular country, Barbados.
Yep.
In the air, but no damage done. I think it was hit one bounce, so no damage done here. So 126 for 3. We are in the 10th over. And 10 overs to go after this. And Salman and Baba looking good here. Nupur batted well today and bowling well too. Has given away only 4 runs, 5 balls. So good running between the wickets here. Their running has been the feature today in this partnership, Brian.
I would agree with that. And it goes to the point that I made earlier that there's different ways of being able to score heavily in T20 cricket. You don't always have to hit 4s and 6s. Just hustling like this between the wickets and converting 1s into 2s, that is also a good way of doing it. So we're now up to 128. That is the end of the 10. At the end of 10, I think we're going to have a short break, will we? Nope, doesn't look like we're taking a break. But either way, 128. So obviously scoring at the rate of 12.8 and over. Incredible assault. I mentioned earlier that I think the game was effectively finished in the first 5 overs. But you still have to close things out. So you still have to continue along the same disciplines. The Nepali Rhinos have to do something to try to take a wicket. Just take a wicket. Try to drag the game as deep as possible. And maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and somebody takes a hat trick. But outside of something like that, I think this game is effectively over.
Yes, they desperately need a couple of wickets here to put pressure on the opposition. Salman is 12 not out. Babar is 21 not out. He's on strike. He's hitting the ball nicely here. What a shot that was. So runs coming very easily here to GPCC team. Going for that cross-batted slog, which is very common these days, Brian.
Baba is showing signs that he wants to get this game over with. The last 2 deliveries that have been bowled at him, his body language suggests that he's looking to hit big again. And I think the ball to the left hand, I think, is a good one. To keep the ball out of his hitting zone, sort of spearing it in toward his legs. That's not a bad option. But now bowling to the right-hander and is lofted deep to square leg and over the top of backward square for 6. A quiet period in the last couple of overs, but now it looks like there's some hitting taking place again. Salman joining in on the fun this time. He's now up to 18 from 14.
And there they needed a fielder like Cotley Ambrose or Joel Garner. He was a short man. He jumped, tried his best to take that catch, Brian.
Curtly Ambrose, Joel Garner, both 6'8". Do you know what Curtly Ambrose is doing with his time these days?
I think he's coaching somewhere. I heard his shot was some months ago.
Oh, this is the biggest 6 of the day. Oh, what a stroke. Well and truly. Well, this is going to give us some time to talk about Curtly Ambrose. It'll take some time for that ball to come back. I was in Antigua happened to go into the King's Casino. The leading entertainment was Curtly Ambrose and his soca band. Curtly Ambrose is now a bass, in addition to cricket coaching, he's now a bass player and a singer in a soca band. After we get off the air, I can show you a couple of videos that took. He's an absolutely wonderful entertainer.
No doubt about it. And we can talk about his performances. There are he gets only a single on this occasion. So absolutely no problems here for the GPCC batters. Runs coming very, very easily for them. This is the third over. Basant bowling, and he's already given away 40 runs. And they need 40 here. Very, very. Hits, but no power in that stroke. He'll get a single quite comfortably here. So that, I think, is the end. No, still yes, end of his third over, Basant, and he's given away 42 runs so far. So 143 for the loss of 3 wickets after 11 overs, 9 to go, and only 39 is the target for them.
Oh, you said 9 to go. There will not be 9 more overs bowled in this match. I'm sorry. Another 39 runs. They're scoring right now at the rate of 13 and over. So that suggests 3 more overs. I don't think that this match has another 5 overs left in it. Even if a couple wickets fall, it's pretty much done and dusted.
So we were talking about, the entertainment the West Indies cricketers, have been giving to all the cricket lovers. We should also talk about the kind of spirit they show every time, Brian. And cricket, we all know, is a gentleman's game. It is still a gentleman's game. Don't you agree?
I 100% agree with you. And one thing I like about the cricket that we play as this ball is too far outside off stump and goes away for a signal wide by the umpire. One thing that I like about the way that we play cricket is that we generally play in good spirits. And even though the action on the field gets fierce and, tempers flare sometimes even on the field, you still get together and have a beer afterward. And that, to me, is the thing that is most admirable about our cricket specifically, and then just good cricket in general.
Absolutely. One more single act. That's why still in England they say when somebody misbehaves, it's not cricket.
You're exactly right.
So Babar and Salman are building the partnership here. Scoring runs easily. Lofted shot, but the fielder is a bit far there. Yes, when you mentioned about Curtly Ambrose, present entertaining role, when you talk about his performances, 1 run and 5 or 7 wickets, I don't remember. 7 wickets against Australia, I think. 7 for 1. What a performance that was. And I still remember, superbly played. And square drives are rarely seen these days, Brian.
Well, in fairness, this was a rank full toss, almost 2 feet outside the line of off stump. He did well to get bat on that, actually. The only way he could play it was square, but easily put it away for 4. Once again, the bowling has not been of the type, with the exception of Dev, the bowling has not been of the type that would threaten this chase in any way. And GPCC, at this point, it just makes it feel like they're taking candy from a baby.
Absolutely. So 150 up for GPCC. They're 150 for only 3 wickets. That we should mention. 7 in hand, 8 to go after this one. And Nupur is bowling his second over, giving some runs in this over. And the batter, I think he needs some drink here, because it's cool. It's not humid now. September mid is, very, very pleasant in Dallas, Brian. You know better, of course. You live here, you're not very far from here.
It's amazing. I was talking about this because I was actually up here this past weekend for a soccer match. Both my sons are soccer players, and we had a match up here on Saturday and on Sunday. There's actually a difference in Austin and Dallas. This time of the year, a 10-degree difference. The other thing is you can see Canadian geese flying overhead here in Dallas. I'm a big bird watcher, by the way. You see Canadian geese flying overhead here in Dallas. We're just 200 miles south in Austin. You would never see any such thing. So there's actually a big difference in weather between here and there.
It's 150 for 3. The play resumes here. Nupur hits it superbly over mid-off for a 6. And this man is unstoppable here, Baba. That was a clean hit from him, Brian.
When I played, they used to put us fast bowlers to field on the boundary. Just for a split second, I felt like I was on the boundary again, waiting to catch that ball. That was a clean strike. The fielder over here at long off didn't have much to do but just retrieve it. Here we go again. And there's another 6. Got to be another 6. Sailing well away into the night. And Babar looks like he wants to close this one out in a rush.
And the better net run rate always helps in this sort of competitions. We should not forget that aspect as well. Brian?
Well, the 1 ball remaining here in the 12th. The score is 162 for 3. Unbelievable. That's well played. That's going to be more runs. And that's a good piece of footwork by the fielder down there on the boundary. And in fact, I think he limited the damage to 1 run. That is a brilliant piece of fielding. Doesn't do much in the context of the entire game, but the fielder, or the bowler rather, will be happy that didn't go for 4. 163 for 3 after 12.
For a while I thought, he was like a footballer dribbling with the ball there.
I will say this. I once broke my foot doing exactly that in the outfield. And so every time I see a fielder using his feet to stop the ball in that manner, my breath stops. Because it's a a cricket ball is really hard. And if you're sprinting full out and you step on that ball, it's a recipe for breaking your foot. So I did it once, hurt like you know what, and I don't want to ever see it done again. But having said that, it's a good piece of athleticism. You just don't want to get it wrong.
Nupur conceded 26 runs in the 2 overs he bowled. So 163 for 3. 8 to go. 7 wickets in hand. Comfortably placed. That was a chance. There was a chance, I think. But a hard one there. Not easy. We talk about catching, some catches, are very difficult sometimes.
When he played that ball, I was anticipating it coming directly straight in this direction. I think it was a mishit. Might have been a bit of a leading edge while that ball went in front of square. Easily, given the line and the length, it should have ended up back. And look at that shot. Oh, that was brutal. Listen to the sound. Flying away for 4. And only another 14 runs needed for victory as Salman blasts that ball through the covers for 4 of the best runs of the day.
A typical West Indian Caribbean shot that was. Through point, no chance for anyone to stop it. There was tremendous power in that stroke. And I think Greenwich used to be powerful like this. That too, on the offside.
Greenwich is one of the few people I've ever seen who played his square cuts so hard that both his feet were off the ground when he played the shot. That gives you an idea of the amount of energy that went into those shots. Oh, whipped away elegantly. This fielder down there, though. Limits the damage to 1 run. So, you and I can just talk about old cricketers for a very, very long time. But in the context of this game, effectively this game has been finished for a while. But I still like to see these two batters going all out and being able to close in style. That, I think, augurs well for the rest of this tournament. Plus, you mentioned it earlier. If you have the opportunity, that's a great Yorker, by the way. You mentioned it earlier. Net run rate comes into effect at some point. So if you can close this out in the next over or so, then that definitely helps you there too.
Yes, in such competitions, net run rate, plays a key role. We are in the 13th over. Again, in the air, there is a fielder trying to take the catch, and he does take it. Great effort by the fielder there. So, GPCC lose their 4th wicket, and what a catch that was.
It's a not good contact made. Babar looking to probably play that one a little bit square and getting it just a little too straight. So he did not get all of it. But having said that, that fielder at deep mid-wicket still had some work to do to run around to his right and judged it well, took it maybe waist high, tumbling down as he made the catch. A good piece of work in the outfield. And again, I mentioned it earlier. Even though they're well on their way to losing this match to the Nepali Rhinos, they're still fighting in the field, and that's what you want to see even from a team that's about to lose the match.
But still they're comfortably placed here. So 169 for 4 now. They are only in the 13th over of their innings, and their target is 182 today, which is not very far. They need another 13 runs. So 169 for 4 wickets, GPCC, but their target is only 182, and they've got 8 overs in hand. So Salman is still there, 31 not out. Baba was playing so well, got dismissed in the last over. This is the first match of Dallas Premier League Cricket Tournament 2022. This is season number 7, and tomorrow we have got 3 matches coming up for you. So 169, 13 runs required. Another over begins. Played towards mid-wicket. No chance of any runs. Almost out of their hands now, Brian. And you need a miraculous effort here.
Well, they're going on the attack. There's a slip fielder in position. I don't mind seeing that. You try to at least make something happen. If you get another couple wickets, that would be a good thing. But you only have 13 runs to play with. So ultimately, it's not going to matter very much in the grand scheme of things. But a good few balls here to start the 13th over, the 14th over rather, by Arpan. And with Anuj, the new batter, looking to sort of get settled, he's going to want to make sure that he tries to make something happen. Tries to get off strike, maybe get the strike to Salman to hopefully close things out. I said it earlier, you want to still consistently play the way that you've been playing so far. You don't want to do anything reckless, but you don't want to go into a shell either.
Again, a lofted shot here. A fielder waiting for the catch here, and he takes it, judges it nicely, and another wicket falls here.
Another wicket falls, I'll tell you what. Now, if you faced a few dot balls, you've not been able to score, I think a better option would just be to look to push the ball in the gap and get a single and get the man on strike who is on 31 from 20. So I don't know that you swing for the fences. Again, I keep saying it's not going to make a big difference in the grand scheme of things, but you want to continue to teach yourself winning habits as a side, and you want to make sure that you close out the game efficiently. As of this stage, it feels like GPCC is sort of sputtering towards the finish line.
But they've definitely shown some good promise in their very first match, Brian. And they've got some outstanding batters in their team. Baba, the left-handed, batted superbly. And Uber, of course, played an excellent innings. And he showed why he's rated very high in Dallas. So they've got some very good cricketers. So Arpan strikes for Nepali. This is his third over. Appeals for LBW there, but umpire doesn't move from his position.
That ball actually turned a little bit. That's the first one I've seen actually turn so far. So one ball remaining here in the 14th, I'm sorry, I said that. Lofted towards extra cover. Oh, executive decision made by that fielder at extra cover. You would think that he could have charged in a little harder and given a much better effort. As it is, he just concedes a single. And so the score is now 170. 170 for 5 after 14. And just officially another 6 overs to go. But with another 12 runs as the target, I don't think it's going to get that far.
Just 2 shots away, but miracles do happen in this game. And they need that here. Just imagine, just guess, Brian, a hat-trick by someone at this juncture.
I'll tell you what, even if a hat-trick happens here, you're still at 170 for 8. Still 12 runs to get in 6 overs. That's not difficult. Well, at that point, it would be 5 overs. But still, you just want to make sure that you close out the game efficiently. Not like this. This ball is just punched into the outfield, jogging through for a single. That's perfectly fine. If you can do it in singles, just don't lose any more wickets. And you want to make sure that you appear that you're in control of the game. You don't want to be sputtering towards the finish line as they appear to have been doing for the last over or so.
Dave is the bowler. And this is the 15th over. Yeah. So 182 is the target for GPCC. They're almost on the verge of winning this match. Outside the line of the leg stump, and umpire declares a wide here. So extras. You've been asking so many questions, Brian, this evening. I want to ask one question, not related to cricket. Okay. It's related to athletics. No need to say that Jamaica has produced some wonderful athletes as well, runners. And who was the first one? Of course, those days people say that he represented the United States of America because Jamaica was part of the United States of America those days. But in 1930s, even Oh, we talk about that later. He hits it in the air. Fielder getting underneath it, but he doesn't take it. So it's a sixer here. In 1930s, even Hitler congratulated him.
So you're talking about Jesse Owens, but Jesse Owens was not Jamaican. Jesse Owens is an American. I'd love to claim him. He wasn't one of us. But there is no question that Jamaica has produced a disproportionate number of excellent sprinters over the years. You can go back as far as Herb McKinley. I don't know if you've heard that name. Donald Quarry in the 70s. You know, you have obviously Usain Bolt, who everybody knows. But one thing that many people don't know is that many people who have represented other countries as sprinters were born in Jamaica. And think of somebody like Ben Johnson, and that's going to be 4 flying back over here, over toward her head, and that is the end of the game. Maybe we'll pick up our sprinting conversation another time. I have a couple of things that I want to say about that. But in the meantime, an easy victory here. 5 wickets is the margin of victory in the 15th over. Some 32 balls to go. Pretty straightforward and comprehensive victory by GPCC.
So they are off to a very good start in the 7th edition of Dallas Premier League Cricket Tournament. They have defeated Nepali Rhinos by 5 wickets, chasing a huge target of 182. But that didn't look huge in the end, Brian.
And I'm going to say it again. Bear in mind that the person who I thought is their biggest hitter, Damon Ebanks, got out for 2. So this easily could have been finished 5 overs ago. But I think just a very dominating performance by GPCC, and overall just a very straightforward game of cricket for them.
So congratulations to the Gladiators team. They have played very well today, and they have shown their all-round abilities. Of course, they could not restrict their opposition to a low score, but their answer was excellent today. And it's an easy win, as you said, and very good start for them.
Great start for them. So a lot of cricket for the rest of the week. So dear, it's a pleasure being here with you. I look forward to us sharing the commentary booth for the next several days. And for now, I'll be signing off right from here. I think you may have a couple of interviews that you have to do. My work here is done. Oh, wait, apparently I'm staying. Okay, all right, we'll hang on. You taking the camera over there, yes?
Yes. Can I turn it off?
I think this one's better.